I want you to play a game with me, Ray.
I don't want to play a game.
Oh, please.
No.
I said play a game with me, Raymond.
Right.
Lovely. I want you to imagine a character. Your boss, Mickey Pearson.
You're too smart to be blackmailing us, Fletcher.
Sweet Mary Jane is my vice. Your poison, on the other hand, is and always has been the destroyer of worlds.
You're out of touch, and I would like you to consider an offer.
I am not for sale.
The plot begins to thicken. Now, I can't be specific about the heroes and zeros, but our protagonist is a hungry animal. There is a lot of money hanging in the balance. Our antagonist explodes on the scene like a millennial firework and has indirectly started a war.
I think you need to see this, boss.
That's one of my firearms. How do they find it?
I'm making inquiries.
His name is Fahak. We're spelled with a PH, so it sounds like Fahak.
Please!
All right, Fahak, Kanda Fahak.
Please!
If you smell smoke, it's because there's a fire. So you're gonna have to stamp that out quickly.
These people are going to clean house, and you are part of that house.
In the jungle, the only way a lion survives, not by acting like a king, by being the king.
Oh.
Brilliant!
I've been waiting so long to be where I'm going.
Oh, it's really warming up now, isn't it?
The sunshine on your...
There's only one rule in this jungle. When the lion's hungry, he eats.
One of our associates had an accident.
So you killed someone?
No, it was the gravity that killed him. Gonna need those phones.
Welcome back to our humble San Diego podcast. We are your hosts, James Warney.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And I, Wesley Swanson, and together we are a Drop the Mic. This week we return with a look back at director Guy Ritchie's 2019 film, The Gentleman. Here is episode 243, Criminal Class. But before we take a closer look at his return to form with the British gangster genre, let's get warmed up with a few of our usual intro segments, shall we?
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
Alright, so pop culture news. We all know it's your shtick, so what do you got for us this week, man? And welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. So it looks like, along with Chris Pratt becoming the voice of Mario in the new Mario animated film, it looks like he's also going to be the new voice of Garfield in an animated feature. So
that's real? I wasn't sure if that was a joke, because it's it seems so out in left field to me.
So weird. I thought it was too, but I don't know. This guy is on a hot streak right now, and I guess his voice is being sought after. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words with that. I'm excited. I'm intrigued to see how he does the Mario voice, or what he's going to do. But yeah, he's Garfield now, I guess. Who did Garfield's voice before? Was it Bill Murray?
Yes, it was Bill Murray.
All right, yeah, and he did that for like 4 movies, I think, or 3 or 4 movies, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think in what is it? Is it Zombieland 2? They make a little joke about it.
Yeah.
Oh, double tap, so good.
Let's see here. I think so the producer for Hellboy, Jeffrey Greenstein, I believe is his name. That's how you pronounce it. It looks like he may be playing around with the idea of a Hellboy TV series. saying that he thinks that they may have an opportunity to get that done. Now, whether Perlman would be coming back for that or just a total recast again, that is still up for debate, and there's no real news on that end. But I think right now it's kind of just speculation and more something that I think he wants to see done. But if anything, it's in the early stages. So, would you be excited for a Hellboy TV series?
Yeah, because I think there's less constrictions, like which was probably why that newer movie didn't fare so well, and I feel like just trying a new medium could be breathe fresh air into a property that has such a big kind of concept, even if they wanted to go like an animated route, like, you know what I mean? There's tons and tons of comics and arcs and stuff to explore. So I think, a TV show seems like a great idea.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I'd really look forward to seeing something like you said. And it's it would be a way to kind of, like you said, I think expand that universe. So. I know Zack Snyder just did I guess we would call it a prequel to Army of the Dead, which is, I believe it's called
Army of Thieves.
Army of Thieves, yes. And I think that was relatively successful on Netflix. Had a pretty good streaming, numbers on there, and he's completing his trilogy with Planet of the Dead. I know that's something we've talked about before. So that's going to be the final chapter in that trilogy of like that zombie universe that he's doing right now with Netflix. And I don't know if it's the end of his contract with them, but I know he is they're probably close to starting that as well, the Planet of the Dead. But he also hinted that we may see a Army of the Dead favorite, which was he's the main character in the Army of Thieves. So I think he's like the Swedish safecracker.
Yes.
He said we may see it. He hinted at seeing him in Planet of the Dead, whether as a zombie or still being alive. I don't know. But I would be interested in seeing him come back again, because I haven't seen the Army of Thieves, but I've seen Army of the Dead, and he was by far probably my favorite character. Just how zany he was in the whole movie. You've seen Army of the Dead, right?
Yes, I've seen Army of the Dead, but I have not been able to check out this new one. I was surprised at how fast they were able to pump that out.
Yeah. I want to say they probably shot it right after.
They would have had to, because Army of the Dead just came out over the summer, right?
Yeah, and then this was maybe like 4 months later.
Yeah.
With the prequel. But yeah, kudos to Zach for banking off of Netflix.
I wonder what do we know about, without any kind of spoilers? I'm sure you don't know them anyway, but anything like what the Planet of the Dead is going to circle around?
I haven't heard the premise or anything, or the synopsis about it, but I'm assuming it's just going to expand on that zombie world. Probably instead of just being only in Vegas, it's going to spread out. I don't know, maybe, or they'll have some type of war between the zombies and people. I don't know. I felt like at least in the Army of the Dead, you were getting a sense of that they were becoming more not human, but they could actually think on their own. They weren't just mindless, creatures. But yeah, it looks like he's also working on a TV series for Netflix, which is going to be Army of the Dead Lost Vegas.
Interesting. They're really running with the zombie concept.
Yeah. And Zach is not a stranger to that world. He's had his hand in that for a couple of years back. But moving on to some more news, we get our first trailer, a real trailer for Morbius with Jared Leto. I like it. I thought it looked cool. Jared Leto doesn't look so weird. You know, like, I don't know, maybe he's not really... I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he's as weird as he is in all of his other movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
like out there, how he is. But what are your thoughts on this? I thought it looked really cool. I'm excited for this one. Can't wait.
You know, I think what we've talked briefly about this on the show before. I have my issues with him as a person, but as an actor, he's pretty good. And you know, and I remember really loving the Morbius character, you know, within the Spider-Man universe, and I feel like it seems pretty authentic, like they're setting up this big thing, you know, for later on down the line, and I really love like the his prosthetics and how they made him look, and I was kind of surprised that it said PG-13 at the end, because it very much feels like a kind of grittier toned movie.
Yeah. I think I'm wondering where it's going to land in this Spider-Man universe, how they're going to tie it in, because obviously Morbius is a Spider-Man villain, along with Venom.
And Morbius is also Sony, so it seems like they're slowly chugging along this, you know, their own universe. It looks like.
I don't know if you noticed, but in the beginning of the trailer, it says from the people from the studio that brought you Venom, and then it says and Spider-Man Far From Home, and you know, Homecoming or whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that they threw that in there. Because I feel like Spider-Man is more... I know he's technically still owned by Sony with, you know, help from Marvel or Disney, but I feel like Marvel has pretty much... They have, like, intellectual... I don't know, like, I feel like they have had their hand in more with Spider-Man than Sony, if that makes sense. Just because he's involved with the Avengers and everything like that. But I think I have one more bit of news here. Let's see. Black Adam producer promises that the kill count will be extremely high for that Dwayne Johnson film, playing the anti-hero, the darker version of Shazam, if you're not familiar with that. But excited. I know we got a little glimpse of it for the DC fandom, and we didn't really talk about that when I was last on. But I'm interested. It's going to be it's keeping that dark tone that Dwayne Johnson promised. You know, he keeps on saying the hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change, or the power of the DC universe, something like that. But I think he said he's been working on getting this movie made for like the last 10 years or so, or longer. Kind of, I feel like he has that same type of energy that Ryan Reynolds had going into creating Deadpool, and I feel like this is maybe his Deadpool in a way. But yeah, excited to see that one as well. And I think that's the last bit of my news for this week. I know I was absent a little bit, but I'm probably missing a little bit of news here. Did you see the trailer for the Book of Boba Fett?
I have not yet.
It looks really good. Excited for that one. I cannot wait. What is the actor's name? I can't remember. The guy who plays Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, but he definitely lost some weight in between Mandalorian and this. He doesn't look so... I'd hate to body shame someone. I'm not really body shaming him, but he definitely doesn't look as pudgy as he did in the Mandalorian.
Do you think that was intentional, or just how things worked out?
I think maybe he was probably, at least I think he was probably like, well, I want to look a little better in the suit than I did for the Mandalorian. But I think the actor, I don't know his name, and I'm sorry if that upsets anybody, but I know he's like in his 50s or like mid 50s or so it's pretty hard for someone that a